Hello, my name is Michael Doxey, and today the country that I will be talking about is Taiwan. The history of Taiwan's economy. Taiwan is a place that was a large part in trading for Eastern Asia due to its location. The economy in Taiwan began to see improvement under Dutch control in the 1600s and again in the late 1800s under Chinese rule. During World War II, under the rule of Japan, the economy in Taiwan took a hit following the war and experienced a decline. In 1960, the economy began doing so well following the previous hit that the economy took that it was labeled an economic miracle. In the 2000s, Taiwan's economy experienced a recession both in 2001 and again in 2008 when a global recession occurred. Drivers of economy, the imports. Taiwan has a lack of natural resources, which makes them rely heavily on their imports. The main import products that you will see are electronic products, which make up of 18.2%, mineral products, machinery, chemicals, and base metals, and those are just the main imports. As you can see, the image below compares Taiwan and the United States imports numbers. Taiwan is in the blue, and the United States is the dotted line that you see throughout. Some of the main import partners for Taiwan include China and Hong Kong, Japan, Europe, the U.S., other members of the ASEAN countries, and the Middle East. So, drivers of economy for exports. Taiwan's economy relies heavily on its exports. These exports are the result of about 70% of the GDP. Industrial goods now make up for 98% of exports. During the past 40 years, the main export producers for Taiwan are electronics, information, audio, and visual communication products, base metals, plastics and rubber, and machinery. For exports continued, the main export partners for Taiwan are China and Hong Kong, the United States, Europe, and Japan. And again below, Taiwan is in the blue and the United States are the dotted line. Now talking about interest rate, on March 19th, 2020, the Central Bank of Taiwan lowered its key policy rate by 25 BPS, or basis points, which lowered it down to 1.125%. The official interest rate is the discount rate on 10-day loans to banks. The Taiwan 10-year government bond has a 0.47% yield percentage. That is for the sovereign bonds. And its credit rating is overall at a AA minus. For drivers of economy currency, the currency that is current in Taiwan is known as the Taiwan New Dollar. So for every one US dollar, you would receive roughly 30.13 Taiwan dollars. It has undergone some changes to its currency. When it was under Japanese rule, the Taiwan dollar used to be referred to as the Taiwanese yen, but after 1945, when Japan was no longer in control, the Taiwan dollar was introduced. Taiwan's economy has a floating exchange rate system, which means the currency's value may change based on the foreign exchange market. In times of crisis, during the financial global crisis in 2009, the economy was declining. However, they were able to manage and not fall apart during those times. The government during this time offered $108 to each resident per week in order to stimulate the economy. In 2015, the economy took another slight hit due to the weak global demand for consumer electric products, which is the number one export of Taiwan. Even after these tough times for their economy, Taiwan has been able to turn it around in recent years. For example, in 2018, Taiwan's overall exports and imports increased by 5.9% and 10.4% respectively, and its economy expanded by 2.63%. The structure of the Central Bank of Taiwan. Organizational structure is the first part. This includes departments of banking, issuing, foreign exchange, treasury, financial inspection, economic research, secretariat, accounting, and information management. This also has offices such as personnel, ethics, and legal affairs. The second part is in reaction to a crisis, they cut their interest rates, they offer money to businesses, and they also have created stimulus packages. Now, with all that's going on in the world, coronavirus is clearly the major topic going on. So, as of April 24th for 2020, Taiwan has experienced 429 cases, only 6 deaths, and 275 people have recovered. That's over half. The United States, in comparison, has roughly 900,000 cases, almost 47,000 deaths, and the amount recovered are not exact. Taiwan has successfully been able to avoid the virus for the most part due to their experience when dealing with an outbreak of this kind. The outbreak that I am talking about is the SARS outbreak in 2003. The Central Bank of Taiwan has also had to deal with this outbreak in their own way. As mentioned earlier, the central bank had cut its interest rate by 25 BPS, bringing the number down to 1.125%. This was the first time that this has been done in 4 years. They also provided more money to support companies. When looking at the numbers from the crisis in 2009, the damage was way worse than what is being done by the coronavirus. When talking about future growth of Taiwan's economy, there are challenges and there's possible growth. Some of the challenges for the future is the rapidly aging population that they have. Nearly 20% of the population is set to be the age of 65 in the year 2025, which is crazy because that year isn't that far away. Plus, increased competition from China and other markets makes it much more challenging for Taiwan. Possible growth for the future, though. Taiwan is expecting to continue growing when looking at their numbers. For example, GDP 1.3 trillion is a 2.6% growth, a 2.5% 5-year compound annual growth, and they also have a 53,000 per capita. So when looking at it, is Taiwan investment worthy? I do truly believe that Taiwan is investment worthy. One, because Taiwan has continuously been a strong and stable economy, being ranked 22nd in the world by purchasing power parity, and is the 7th largest in Asia. Consistently, they show low numbers of unemployment and low inflation. This offers more of a low risk than a high risk for me, and I would consider Taiwan investment a worthy thing. Thank you. That is all.